burnt out, dude.
Send me a text right now, Chris. Stand by. Don't go to bed.
You tell them what to do.
Hey, Elmer, we talk like this, man. It's the concept. It's called communication. It's a concept that you leftists don't know much about. So just stand by.
Oh, now I'm a leftist. See, you guys all go into personal attack kind of shit. That's all you got left. You can't debate like an adult.
I call them libtards. That's what I call them.
Yeah, god damn it, libtards. They all should die.
I call them Marxists. I mean, they're all today's liberals are basically full left-wing Marxists. They're so far from the old school liberal concept and constructs that they fall squarely into the camp of Marxist, left-wing Marxists. And Bailey sounds a lot like one.
Weaponized, useful idiots.
I don't understand that. Explain that to me. What's that with people?
Call them weaponized, useful idiots.
What does Marxism have to do with people?
Really? Do you want me to? It might be easier if I draw you a picture and email it to you. What's your email address?
Do that out of the phone. No, I'm an adult. You know, you can explain to me. I'm vaguely familiar with Marxism, but explain to me how that involves people. You're not understanding. I'm asking you to define to me what a Marxist acts like. You are supposed to know. You say you do. Tell me.
I'm not taking the bait. Yeah, I can tell that you're not interested in what I have to say. You're interested in starting a fight. So, work on the trivia questions for Sunday. It's going to be fun.
Going out tomorrow night. No, it is currently like a lot of people that belong to the GOP that are convinced that a lie is what you're going to base your religion of your politic on. You know, you got to believe in religion, which isn't true. And that's what bothers me is that dopes like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Jim Jordan and Steve Miller and Lindsey Graham and the dope, what's his name, the two senators that are from Texas. God, these people believe in a fantasy. So they're running life on a fantasy, on something that didn't happen. That's scary.
Lindsey Graham is a fucking corrupt piece of shit.
Fantasy that you speak of. What help me get on the same page with you, John.
Big lie that the election was stolen. It was not. There were 63 trials. The Supreme Court, three of the trials. It just didn't. The election was not stolen. So Trump ran out, and then he urged and prodded a shitload of people to attack the Capitol. It's just scary.
So there is no conversation to be had here. So we might as well just throw in the towel before we even get started.
Well, they're conditioned. They're conditioned and programmed by the television, dude. And they're conditioned and programmed to tell you so.
Yeah, Russia, ad nauseum. And then everybody's running around, Trump colluded with Russia, and that was completely proven false. Yet there's still people out there.
The worst when it comes to Russia. They've been programmed Russia from at birth.
You know, John, it's pointless. Like I said early on, when these knuckleheads run into a roadblock because they've got no facts, because they won't read or do their homework, they get into name calling. That's their last resort.
There's a boatload of people that Trump had earlier trusted that is warning America to stay away from this man. William Barr, General Miley, General John Kelly, General John Mattis, Navy Secretary Richard Spencer, Mark Meadows. This is my own research. I don't make notes from the television. H.R. McMaster, Chief of Staff John Kelly, Tom Bossert. All of these people are warning America that Trump is a criminal corrupt. He doesn't give a shit about America. He just gives a shit about Donald Trump. That's it.
Corrupt. They're all corrupt. So until you've sat down and talked to Trump personally, I can't take anything you say seriously.
We were presented with after the election.
You know, LOL, you run so much power, you're so arrogant, you don't duplex.
Who are you talking to, little girl?
Believe that.
LOL, he runs so much fucking power, he doesn't think he has to duplex because when he keys up, he feels that's it. You're a pompous, arrogant asshole, LOL. And I'll tell you what, another thing, when I was talking about this Kevin Rittenhouse kid, 17-year-old, and I said, would you send your 17-year-old out? And you said, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, LOL, you're an unfit parent.
And what about this thing about calling names and hurling insults, Dave, that you were complaining about just a second ago? Huh. Is that the pot calling the kettle black? Just help me understand how what you just did is not what you were accusing me of doing. I'm confused now.
Well, I think you have been most of your adult life confused. But you're a good moneymaker. You're a good provider. Unfortunately, you tell your children how to vote. I got a brother that does the same fucking thing. He talks about beaners.
Fucked up beaners.
He's not a racist, but he calls people beaners. Oh, look at those beaners over there. But yet the MAGA people go, we're not racist. When they call us racist, they're the fucking left crazy motherfuckers. Anyway, LOL. You're an unfit parent. You thought that when I asked you if you would send your 17-year-old in their full combat kit and an assault rifle, you thought that was okay.
I do. Yeah, I think it's completely okay. And his name's Kyle Rittenhouse. So if you're going to reference somebody and act like you think you know what you're talking about, you might want to try to get the name right so you actually sound a little bit sane. That was a bit of a diatribe, so I'm not quite sure what your point is. I'm an unfit parent. Well, both grown and gone now. They're both homeowners on their own. With their own money, they earned enough money to buy homes in Southern California on their own. And we homeschooled our kids from day one. So from kindergarten through graduating high school, our kids were homeschooled. And they're now both successful members of society, self-sufficient, tax-paying homeowners in Southern California. In their one's in her 30s, the other's in her mid-20s. And do you actually live in your truck?
Whatever you want to believe.
It's a legitimate. It's a legitimate question. I mean, we're sliding our chips across the table here. So you're accusing me of being a failed parent, yet you live in your truck. You can't earn enough money to buy a house or live or rent a house, yet you're accusing me, who successfully raised 2 kids, to make their own way in life and buy their own houses in Southern California, and I'm the one who failed at this? I'm confused again, Dave. Help me understand this.
think?
God has to find you favorable.
You feel that it was okay. It was okay to send a 17-year-old boy, 17-year-old high school student, into a situation like that. You believed in all that bullshit that the MAGA motherfuckers and the Newsmax people put out on this kid, 17-year-old boy. The kid had intent to shoot something. He didn't care about what it was. He just wanted to shoot something. You thought it was okay. Well, I'd dress my kid up in all his combat gear and make him look like Rambo. And he could have this assault weapon. You says, well, what's exactly an assault weapon, Dave? You know what I mean. And you're going to do that. Would you really, truly send your 17-year-old son out there to be a big, dumb motherfucker with a possibility of getting his head blown off? You call it he was doing self-defense? It was bullshit. It was premeditated. Kid came 100 miles. Oh, I'm going to protect my uncle's place. And then your bunch says, oh, he's going to be Florence Nightingale to give medical aid. We're talking about a 17-year-old kid.
You're a moron, little girl. You know that? You really are a moron.
Haley, you know, when your narrative falls apart, you guys, you lefties, just unwind, and it's laughable. How does what Kyle Rittenhouse did have anything to do with the entire previous key-up that I just made where I compared the success of my own children to your success? You slid your chips across the table. You called me an unfit parent. I just offered you proof otherwise, and you just went completely fucking sideways back to this Kyle Rittenhouse nonsense. Let's talk about you and your current living situation and my kids and their current living situation, and let's compare notes and see where I went wrong, according to you, and how you have the intestinal fortitude to even declare that, given the fact that you don't even live in a house right now. That's the part I want the answer to. Do you live in a house right now?
Or does he have kids?
Try to just stay on topic. One topic. This is about a statement you made saying I'm an unfit parent. So I just described to you how my success with my kids has been, and I would like you to describe to me how your success has been because you don't have any kids. We're comparing apples to apples right now. Kyle Rittenhouse has nothing to do with it. Go. It's your turn.
Little girl Bailey's an unfit cat owner. Unfit cat owner, little girl Bailey.
Hi there, Christopher Robin. What you said the other day, Dob, whatever it is, that you would say, good work there, Sonny.
Don't change the subject, Dave. You hurled an insult towards my children and me as a parent. So I'm offering you the opportunity to back your shit up. And if you're incapable of doing that, let somebody else drive.
I'm not insulting them. I am insulting you and saying you're an unfit parent because you would suggest, and you said, that you would put your 17-year-old out there to play Rambo, possibly getting his head blown off. You said that.
Moron, Bailey. Moron.
Okay, so you're done insulting my kids, I'm assuming? Yes? No?
Doesn't even have good kids. God didn't find him favorable. Right, hood rat. Another guy God didn't find favorable to have kids.
That's what it is, hood rat.
I mean you no disrespect, Bailey. I don't. I mean, I'm sure you're probably a pretty nice guy. But when you pull the frickin' 6 gun out of your holster and you aim it right at my fatherhood, I got to defend that. And so that's my attempt right here. I slid both my kids' success stories across the table. I'd like to hear yours. Where do you live? I don't need the city. Do you live in a house with a roof, or do you live in a vehicle? Just answer the question.
I don't have to answer to you, Sonny. We're about the same age. What I'm saying is what you said the other day when I suggested that, you think that was okay about that kid, 17-year-old boy? A boy of 17. His mother is white trash. As a matter of fact, he has no father. So he has no parenting skills. But you said it was okay for that kid to be in complete combat kit, all right, with an assault weapon. And he was supposed to take care of his uncle's whatever, but he decided to walk into public and play Rambo. Well, that shows intent. But you were okay for the kid to do it. You were okay for the kid to murder, and I say murder.
What about the people hunting him down, chasing him with knives and guns? What about those people? Little girl, you make no sense, dude.
He had no business being a 17-year-old. Had no.
The other people he had to shoot because they were about to kill him. What about those people?
He put himself in that situation.
What? Okay, that's fine. But what about the other people that had knives and the other kids that had a gun? What about them that put themselves in that situation as well? They get a free pass or what? You fucking moron.
Okay, now I'm a moron. See, there you go.
Well, dude, you sound like a complete fucking moron. What about the other armed people that he defended himself? Okay, so say you did something stupid. You went somewhere you shouldn't have been, but you had a knife or a gun on you, and then some people came after you with a knife and a gun, and you defended yourself. Would that be different? Yeah, you have to think about that for a second, huh, dumbass?
Dave, since you like to beat this drum, share with the group what the definition of a quote-unquote assault weapon is. What is an assault weapon?
Go ahead, Bailey. We're waiting. You ran that libtard out of here. See how easy it is?
An assault weapon is an anti-personal weapon, like an M16. It's not meant for hunting purposes because it's not that accurate. Anyway, that kid, and I say kid, 17-year-old high school kid, had no business being there. And
what about the other people that he protected himself against? They had business being there?
This kid had no business.
What about the other people? They had business being there? What about the other armed people?
Listen, he's 17. You don't allow your kid to...
What about the other people that were there armed with knives and guns? What about those people? They were also kids.
That's what the police...
What about those people? What about the other people?
That is a police job, not some crazy...
What about the other people, you fucking brain-dead motherfucker?
That is the responsibility of the police.
What about the other fucking people that were there armed that he had to shoot to protect himself?
There's Chris, you're funny. Jesus.
It was fucking awesome.
You got Chris, control. You got this. I can just see the.
You, that fucking brain-dead little girl fucking Bailey, are you that fucking brain-dead? You don't understand what the fuck I'm saying?
got a big vein for it. It's about ready to pop.
The alcoholic drug Jones. Don't let him get you like this.
You motherfucker!
Holy shit, this is ham radio gold right now.
What about the other people? That's all I want you to reply with about the other people he had to protect himself against. You fucking brain-dead, unsuitable fucking cat owner.
Like I said again, now relax, take a breath. Come on, Chris. Okay, you can do it. You can do it. Take a breath in. Take a breath out.
I gotta say, I would never send my kids with an assault weapon into a riot. I think that's insane that Dov would say.
Yeah, you don't send them with an assault weapon. You send them with two.
Would say such a thing. I mean, that's no position for a minor to go into. So I was in the other room listening to this while I was watching the game, and I'm perplexed at the idiocy of that comment. But yeah, okay. I don't know. You know.
Nobody sent him. He went of his own free will. In the United States of America, everywhere else but the People's Republic of California, you can buy and acquire rifles when you're 16. In California, it used to be you had to be 18, but now it's 21. But he went there of his own free will because he was witnessing the very same debauchery that you, Mr. Warner, witnessed in Santa Monica when Black Lives Matter decided to tromp through the neighborhood, robbing, looting, and pillaging everything that they could get their hands on and burn. So he went there to defend property, life, limb, and property, because nobody else was doing it. And when somebody attempted to take his life with a skateboard bash to the back of the head, he killed the guy in self-defense. Justifiable homicide. A jury of his peers found him not guilty of justifiable homicide via self-defense. In a state that is a stand-your-ground state and a castle doctrine state, much like California. The second guy, Gage Grosskreutz, who tried to pull a gun on him, was lucky to survive and only ended up, now he doesn't have a bicep anymore. So that all happened well within the letter of the law. So I'm not really sure where the confusion is here. What about that is confusing to you guys?
He's a minor. He's not responsible for himself. That's the point. He went across state lines with a weapon to put himself in that position. I would not let my minor child with an assault weapon go across state lines. And I have to say, you know, I agree with Davey. I would not let my minor child leave the house, go across state lines with a weapon to go to a riot area. I mean, the fact that you would even say that thing, something like that, is just, I'm baffled. But yeah, I don't give a damn if he can buy a gun. I had a gun when I was a kid. I'm an Eagle Scout. I was shooting. I got rifle merit badge. I did all that shit. My dad had guns. I shot them. I shot shotguns. I've got clay thing, the clay mortar things, all that shit. But you know what? I wouldn't send my kid across state lines to a riot area. And when they were here in Santa Monica, I didn't go down to Santa Monica to where they were rioting and marching with a weapon and get right in the middle of it and start walking around with an assault rifle. You know, even I didn't, let alone sending my own kid to do it. So, okay, I'm glad it's a football game, but I mean, that's just lunacy. I'm sorry. I got to call it the way I see it. Sorry about that, buddy. But good luck with that. I'm glad your kids are raised so you're not sending them when they're children with guns out to riots. That'd be.
But goddamn, is it ever going to stop? Is this guy ever going to stop talking?
Well, therein lies the confusion, Mr. Warner, before you leave.
What about... So the 17-year-old got there with a gun, okay? What about all the other motherfuckers that were there with guns and knives and burning down the city? They get a free pass? What about them? It's okay? It's just totally normal. Totally okay, right?
No, I think Mr. Warner made a couple of assumptions there that don't support the actual story. They're not part of the narrative. And I could see where if that is your belief, that his mom sent him to go do that, that would be a little disturbing, perhaps. Yeah, your minor sending him into battle. Sure. I could see where that would trigger you. But that's not what happened. That's not the sworn testimony that is public knowledge, by the way. You can read the transcripts or go watch the YouTube videos. The whole trial was televised. I watched it all because it was a big Second Amendment case that was rightfully decided. But you're making some statements that are categorically false, Mr. Warner. One, his mom did not send him there. Kyle went on his own. He went on his own. So that part of your story is factually inaccurate. So I would appreciate it if you would clarify that, just for your own sanity, your own edification. Understand that his mom did not send him. He went on his own. So, and then there's the whole so-called assault weapon phrase. Nobody here can define what it means to be called an assault weapon. It's a term that was coined, a phrase that was coined by a fucking left-wing journalist that couldn't even describe what a magazine was. So they came up with the catchphrase assault weapon and started throwing it around, and every left-wing nutbag in the country grabbed that phrase and started hurling it around like it meant something. It means absolutely nothing. There's fuck. Come on, guys.
All right. Let's pretend fucking Kyle doesn't exist. Let's pretend he didn't even go there. Let's say that Terry went there, AA6TN, with a Mini 14. All right? To protect his uncle's fucking store from the fucking Antifa, Black Lives Matter, terrorist pieces of shit that were burning down the city and looting the fucking stores and fucking killing people and stabbing them. And they came after Terry. And Terry turned around and saw fucking somebody screaming and yelling with a knife at his throat, so he shot him. Now what, motherfucker? That's what I thought. Silence, huh? You fucking dumb fuck.
Assault weapons are racist and white people are really, really bad.
Damn, I feel fucking dumber just by hearing all this shit. Silence real quick, huh? When you take Kyle, the 17-year-old, out of the equation, and you put somebody else there in his shoes, like Terry, going to protect his family store. Doesn't matter who the fuck it is, or who he was, or what age he was. The point of it is there's other pieces of shit terrorists out there burning down the motherfucking city, breaking out the fucking windows of business owners' stores, stealing their shit, burning it down, stabbing and fucking killing people, running around, in a fucking war zone. But that's perfectly okay. That's okay. That's fine. But as soon as anybody that is protecting either their assets or their family stuff does something and they have a fucking knife to their throat and they fucking shoot the fucking pieces of shit, now they're all of a sudden a fucking bad person. You fucking dumb fuck.
And
InfoWarsStore.com, InfoWarsLife.com. We need your support. These radical left, they're out of their minds.
I mean, really? This is what you fucking idiots are arguing about? I mean, pull your fucking head out of your fucking asshole, you dumb fucking idiots. Yeah, it's a little different when you pull the kid out of the equation and put Terry there or somebody else, isn't it? Nothing to fucking say now, huh? Oh, jeez. The USA just put common sense in my head. I better not say anything because then I'll look more like a dumbass.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, they need a boogeyman. You know, if they don't have a boogeyman, their narrative falls apart, and all of a sudden they look like the tax and spend douchebags on Pedophile Island that they truly are, right? So they got to have a boogeyman every couple of weeks in order to deflect attention from what they're really doing, raping children, flooding the fucking country with terrorists at the southern border, allowing tens of thousands of our own citizens to starve and freeze, veterans to freeze out there in the cold who fought for this country, and then allowing the fucking abject flooding of the country with fentanyl poison, tens of thousands of people dying from fentanyl overdoses. But, yeah, a 17-year-old kid used a semi-automatic .223 to defend his own life, and the world's coming to an end. You know, their disjointed perspectives are laughable at best.
You know what's funny, or not funny, totally fucking unbelievable, is that what about no mention of the fucking people terrorizing, burning down, destroying property, just terrorists that have no regard for anything, for property or life or anything. They're out there just, out there to cause fucking mayhem. And because they're fucking programmed, okay? And they're burning down the businesses and burning down the city. Oh, but that's okay. They don't mention any of those. Just the piece of shit is the kid who fucking had a knife to his fucking throat and actually got shot, right? Did he get shot at?
Yeah, I think he was shot at. I know that he was hit on the back of the head with a skateboard. He was definitely assaulted with intent to do great bodily harm, potentially causing death. The kid that he killed. That kid swung a skateboard at the back of his head while he was running away. And then the guy that got his arm blown off had a Glock 9mm pointed at him when Kyle shot and blew his arm off. And oh, by the way, the guy that got his arm blown off that pointed the Glock at him was a convicted felon in possession of a firearm that should have never had a firearm in the first place, because the law states that if you're convicted of a felony, you're not allowed to own a firearm. Yet he did, and there he was, pointing that firearm at Kyle Rittenhouse.
Uh-oh. The plot thickens. Not only were they burning down the city and destroying fucking private property and looting the stores, there was felons pointing firearms at people. But that's okay. That's okay. Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here. That's totally okay. You know? But like I said, switch the 17-year-old with somebody else, like I don't know, a Vietnam veteran who was there protecting his store that he opened up after he got home, and donates half the money to the VA and the veterans, and these fucking people were out there looting and burning it down. And he got a skateboard thrown into that. and a Glock, and the felon pointing a Glock at him, and he shot him. Yeah, see, I shut these motherfucking libtards off quick, dude. This is KW6USA. My work here is done.
There goes the personal attacks again. That's all they can do, John. They can't debate like adults, intelligent people.
I've been debating like an adult this entire time, David. Your narrative fell apart 20 minutes ago, and you just decided to tap out. At least John's got the intestinal fortitude to stay in the game and throw blows. You should just take a break, Dave. Go take a nap, maybe, I don't know, put some water in the radiator or something.
Now, there's another personal attack right there. That's what you people do. That's what your orange-haired president has done. Like some kid in the playground, elementary school. If he loses the debate, if he runs out of energy because of lack of knowledge, he goes into personal attacks. That's what you've done to John and myself.
And you did it to me, David, tonight.
Well, that's because you're a jungle bunny.
There's always an excuse when you do it, hypocrite.
Little Ricky's all greased up.
Fucking hypocrite.
So you know the place, Dob, LOL, you know a good place for you is in the Bible Belt, in the red states. You and your dog that you brainwashed, and you tell them how to vote. My brother does the same thing to his kids, and I think he's a piece of shit for doing it. And he spews the hate. And he calls Mexican people beaners and all that. That's okay. That's because that's your president loves that. You ought to move to like the Bible Belt, all the red states. You'll be happy down there. You won't make the money down there, but it'll be a good place for you to retire with you and your grandkids. You fly your Confederate flag and be happy to be hateful, bigoted people.
You just called me nigger last week, asshole. You're the biggest hypocrite out here.
Do Mexican people call Mexican people beaners?
Yo quiero Taco Bell. Fucking beaners.
I don't know what planet you're from, but no, they don't.
What planet are you from to even think you can point a finger at the shit you're guilty of? You're a fucking beaner, little girl. You fucking beaner. Yo quiero Taco Bell.
I'd just like to know what, David, what's the measure of success in California society? So what does one have to do to be considered successful in California? Give me the lay of the land here so I know what the rules are.
What you do is you take yourself off the Wheatie box and you cut your dick off and dress up like a chick. That's how you be successful in California.
Yeah.
Success is an individual perception. It is not a great day that you reach like I'm a success. It's what a person, a man, a wife, a family, it's whatever that they determine. It's individually determined.
He's a fucking hypocrite.
Want to be with your own hateful kind? I suggest, Dob, sell the house, right, and move you and your brood, your clan, down to the south, the Bible Belt, and you all be happy. You can all talk your little redneck shit and all agree with each other and all kiss each other's ass. And you can fly a Confederate flag and you be happy forever after. And your grandbabies can grow up to be hateful, rotten Americans.
How come self-good advice, since you seem to have all the advice? Why don't you have kids to set an example? Well, this is what you don't got none of.
You talk with your mouth full. There's a proper person right there. You guys want to be happy? Pull up your business stakes and move to the Bible Belt in the Deep South. Alabama, Florida.
Little girl Bailey can't really be. He really can't be this stupid. He's just trolling. He's just being a fucking troll.
It's what I do, baby.
But he's got no kids, so he don't know what he's talking about.
But yeah, Dov, you talk a lot of shit. If you're not happy here,
70, he's just fucking losing it.
Well, it is what it is. I'm dissatisfied with what California has become. I'm not necessarily dissatisfied with California as a place, but from a socioeconomic perspective, it sucks. But we've got property here. I've got property in Northern California. I got property here. I got property in Oklahoma. So I'm doing fine, and I spend some time in the Bible Belt when I see fit, and I like it there. And people are actually friendly to each other. Stuff's affordable, they don't like leftists there very much, at least in my part of Oklahoma. I've already done what you're suggesting I do, Dave. I'm just here because I like bugging people like you.
No, these people are they're fucking brain dead. They've watched too much programming on television and too many sport games, and they've just been conditioned and programmed, and there's no hope for them. Their brains are mush. They've just been conditioned to a useful idiot, and they're beyond the point of repair, and they should just be put into a big pit and be buried alive.
we had an operator out here, Phil Tripoli, that said, like the Nazis did, build a long trench, throw them all in there and burn them all up, But you guys talk a lot of stuff. Well, I'm going to move out of California. Blah, 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 blah. Well, you won't make much money in Alabama. That's a poor state. Or Tennessee. Any of those places. So I tell you what, you're not happy here with Gavin Newsom. You weren't happy here with any of the other Democrat governors. You were happy when Duke Nothing was in there, and he did absolutely nothing. So why don't you guys man up and sell your property here and move down there in the South and Bible Belt, and you can all get together and talk about all your hate and talk about hanging presidents who you don't like.
You know what I find challenging, David, and this is, I'm being honest about this, is I'm struggling with accepting suggestions about how to be happier and more successful in my endeavors from a guy who, if the stories are correct, lives in a fucking car. I don't know that you're qualified to be giving life lessons. You appear to have not, something went sideways with you. And until we figure out where, that is, where the train went off the trail, off the tracks, you're not really in a position to give advice. So you've said that 1,500 times in the last 2 weeks. Go move somewhere else if you're not. I'm not really sure you're the guy to be giving that advice.
Not to mention he left for 20 years. Ain't been back 5 months, and yet he got a miracle plan for everybody, but not himself.
Dob, why do you hang around here if you don't like the state?
Got no kids, he's got no woman, yet he's trying to give people with kids advice. Wow.
No, really, you don't like it. You're getting close to retirement age. You make a lot of money. You got properties. Why don't you get the hell out of here if you don't like the state?
It's you who the only reason why you won't leave because you get more subsidy for free here than you would in Texas.
Well, if I didn't like a movie theater or show, I walk out of the theater if I don't like it. So Dob and anybody else who doesn't like the current leadership,
I could take my pension and go live like a fucking king somewhere.
and